Hello, guys. Let's see, as always, if I'm live because let's see. Okay, join. Anyway, join. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm live. Let me check for real. Okay, yes, I'm live. Okay, hello, guys. Welcome back to this new commentary, long commentary on this channel. First of all, I wanted to thank you so much for the support. I was so happy to see how many people watched the reaction video. Thank you so much. Ciao, Edward. Hello. Look, I wait a few minutes. A few seconds because I have so many things to say, guys. Look, first of all, once again, if you join me now, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and follow this huge adventure regarding Shingeki no Kyojin, also because every Monday there will be the commentary, as I did already for the first two episodes. Thank you so much, Edward. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. And did you see, Edward? I put the entire episode in one video. I could do it. Another thing, please don't put spoilers, refrain to put spoilers because anyway, probably, hi Max, hello. Refrain to put the spoilers because anyway, or your comments are automatically deleted because I asked the YouTube's help. And second of all, because it's not respectful for all the people like me who are anime only. So please stay tuned. Yes, we just started. Yes. So please do me this favor, don't put spoilers because otherwise I have to delete also the comment section in the live chat, and I don't think it's the proper thing to do. So please do me this favor. Hello, Juan. Hello. Okay. Anime Fans World, good morning. Okay, look. This episode, if you followed my previous commentary, you understood how many theories, how many things I said. Look, last week we spent 2 hours and 23 minutes to talk about the previous episode, and I talked to you about all of my theories and stuff like that. Today we are going to repeat most of them because here in this episode we had so many things that were cleared and were well explained. For example, why that person is Eren. Look, in the comments I found so many comments saying, how did you know it was Eren? Or something like that. Look, I explained it already, that's why. And I will let you understand all of my points of view. And I will explain one more time these theories because maybe they have a connection. I don't know. Okay, I think we should start. Yes, look, as always, I have my notes because I have so many things to say. Sorry for that. If you don't want to follow the entire live streaming, don't worry because it's going to stay on the channel. So no problems at all. Okay, if I look down, it's just because I follow the notes. Otherwise, it's a problem for me to remember everything. Okay, this episode started in the usual way. We are used to it from these 2 new episodes before. Yeah, in this case, I wanted to remark that here it's underlined how much Karina is brainwashing Rainer in all the things she says. For example, here in this case, she was saying they abandoned us. That is referring to the aliens who went to Paradise. Then she said, look, even your father left too. And in this case, I remember that in the last commentary, I tried to find a reason why his father was not there. If you remember, even when we rewatched the episode, I told you, at the beginning, I was convinced that, yeah, he went to Paradise too, but it was impossible because they went to Paradise 100 years before. So that theory was put aside, okay? But then I thought maybe Okay, this one I didn't say it during the commentary, but then I thought, okay, maybe he died during a war that aliens had to um, go because they were aliens under Marley, and that's why maybe Karina was so disappointed because the father was dead for that reason. No, I mean, she said that the father of Rainer is a Marley. I mean, he's a Marley person. I was shocked. Woo. Personally, I've never thought something like this because I thought that aliens couldn't get in touch with Marley or have a relationship with them. And in fact, even Karina says, "Look, Marley can't stay with aliens," and this underlines the discrimination we always see in this new season that is touchable. I mean, you can feel it all the times. You can see uh, how much discrimination is one of the most important things here, and we should pay attention on this. Um, but yeah, when I heard that he is a wildlife person, look, some people said all of your reaction was first of all, it's 9 minutes of 19 or 20, so it's not always like, but second of all, is because I think that this episode was shocking for all points of view. So that's why there was no other face rather than, especially if you are an anime only. But anyway, okay. Hmm, yes, this thing shocked me so much, and I couldn't believe this. But anyway, now we understand the difficulty Rainer has, because Rainer is the core of this episode. And I know that I put the tiny screen in the thumbnail of my reaction video. I put the tiny screen of Eren, but actually the main protagonist could be Rainer in this episode, even if at the end it's so surprising, so shocking, so beautiful the speech Eren made that we are going to analyze it really quick later. That I think that my choice to put the tiny picture, okay, in the thumbnail was made on purpose because the Eren's speech was amazing in my point of view. Definitely. I agree with Eren right now, what he says, how he said it. But we are going to say it later. Don't worry. Anyway, now I wrote down all the goals Rainer has in this episode and throughout all his life. And we are going to analyze all of these points, okay? But first of all, okay, let's say he wants to be the pride of his mom. I mean, he wants that his mother is so proud to have a son like him. And I think the reason why Rainer is doing this is that throughout all his entire life, he felt inferior. He felt inferior, first of all, because he is an alien. And so he is born and he is brainwashed from the beginning by saying, you are under other people. You are nothing. You are the guilty race, let's say, because some of us went to paradise, etc., etc. So they start learning from the beginning of their lives that they are nothing, that they are considered, look, as nothing. So this is the first thing why I thought that Reiner's life was a problem, let's say, because he was born into a society, I mean, into a condition, into a context that let him understand that even if you are born, yeah, we are happy because you're born. No, in this case, no, because you're already guilty since the beginning. Okay, and so Rainer wants to be the son who wants to be accepted, the son who wants to have the appreciation of other people. And in this case, okay, of course, as always, I see this in Naruto too. Naruto had the same problem. He was not accepted by others. He was left alone. He almost didn't have parents. Okay, Karina is Reiner's mama, but I don't think she's a proper mama because, um, in my opinion, Karina is just using Reiner for her own goals, and that's not love, and that's not how a mother should be. But also in this case, Karina is like that because she was raised in that society, in that type of context. So if from one side I don't like her, on the other side, I can't blame her because she was raised like that. And that's the same thing I said for Gabi in the first commentary of the first episode. I think Gabi, she's like this not because she wanted it to be, but because she was forced to think things like this. And that's the difference. That's why we should, even if it's really hard, okay, to do, and I put myself in the first row because it's not easy to do, but we should feel empathy also for aliens who live in Marley because they were raised like this. Generations and generations and generations repeated the same time, the same things all the times to them, and it's part of them. Now they are what they are because of what they have heard, because of how they were instructed, and that's why we can't let them feel guilty 100% for what they do. It's just because they were educated like this. And that's my opinion. But of course, I don't like Karina and I don't like what she's saying to Rainer. I don't like it because, as I told you in the previous episode, I don't like when other people are trying to make you think things you don't want to think, or when people are forcing you to think some other things. So definitely, I can't stand her. Definitely, totally. Okay. Okay, but anyway, going back to Reiner's goals, we can put the notes a little bit higher so I can see them clearly. But anyway, first of all, yeah, he wants to be the perfect son. And he's also saying it sometimes. He says, I want to be the best son that a parent can have, or something like that. Yeah, he's remarking this because that's really important to be proud of a son in that context. It makes you feel so great. Then he wants to go back with his father. I mean, he wants to create a family. But later you understand that the writer wants to do this, not just for himself, but to accomplish what his mother really wants. But okay, let's say that he really wants a family too, and he deserves a family. Poor Rainer. Look, I've never imagined to stay on the side of Rainer throughout all the previous seasons. I always thought, oh, they are the guilty guys. They have to be executed, or they have to be ended really soon. Come on, we have to keep, I mean, end them and stuff like that. So I've never imagined to see this side of Reiner's story, but I always told you guys, even in the previous episodes, even in the previous commentaries, there has to be a reason why Reiner is doing what he's doing. And of course, now we understand a different world, a different side of his background story. That is, look, I felt speechless. I felt so sad for him. And 2 days before, on last Friday, when MAPPA directors were saying, look, in episode 3, you're going to feel Rainer, you're going to understand Rainer, and you're going to feel sorry for him. Yes, they were totally right. I felt Rainer so much, and I feel so sorry for him because he has a sad story. So that's what happens because when we see the first seasons, we pretended to know already. We judged too superficially speaking, and we thought, okay, Rainer is the fault guy, and he deserves this, okay. But no, that's the perfect example in which we should put ourselves in other people's position and try to understand the reasons why they are doing this, because everything they are doing has a reason. And finally, in this season, we understand the psychology, the background stories, and that's really amazing. I think this is one of the most entertainment thing here. And later I'm going to tell you my opinions also on this case, on these things. But anyway, okay, we have Rainer wants to be the pride of his mom. He wants to go back with his father, I mean, to join a family context and to be like other people, to have a mother and to have a father, I mean, to have a family. Third, he wants to be accepted, not just from his not just from his comrades, let's say, that means Galliard, that means Peak, Bertold, Annie, and whatever, but he wants to be accepted even from his family and from all the people around him. Look, yeah, this reminds me of Naruto, but it really reminds me of Eren too. And then later I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to explain you why I think that at the end of the day, Eren and Reiner, they are the same. I mean, they want maybe different things, but the purpose, the goal they want to reach is the same. So, okay, it was really nice to see these two main characters. One, it was considered the hero at the beginning of I mean, at the beginning of the seasons, okay, season 1, season 2, season 3, season 3 part 2, etc. And the other one who was supposed to be the antagonist can be the same. They can have many things in common, and that's really awesome. Two different sides of the world, two different realities, but they have something in common. They are aliens. They come from the same root. So at the end of the day, they are the same. Okay. Then, number 4. He wants to become a hero. And he wants to become a hero because if he can make it, he can be accepted. So it's a consequence, right? And he wants to become a hero because at the same time, he doesn't want to be a loser because he is categorized as a loser from everybody. And this is evident. And look, when during the reaction video I told you, guys, I told you this, I was referring to the previous commentary I had last week, in which I underlined that Rainer, when I saw the scene that there were the 4 kids of the new generation, and Rainer is having this flashback, okay? And he's saying, no, wait, and they are beyond him, okay? I told you, if you remember, that in that scene, I felt as if Rainer was feeling himself inferior than others, not just because other people wanted him to let him feel like that, but he himself feels like this. So there is a difference. The others are always beyond him, and he's always a step back, and that makes him feel inferior. I felt it last time, and I was so happy to see that I was right because here in this episode we see that he is almost all the time he is considered as a loser. And look at his story is something that I personally feel empathy, because I like protagonists, or I like characters who start being seen as losers and then they become someone. They become somebody who can't be underestimated anymore. And I like this switch because it's an example. I like these messages because even in real life, if people tell you you're nothing or you don't deserve anything or you're a loser, then you don't have to show them, you don't have to prove them wrong, you have to prove yourself they are wrong. And I like the fact that even Rainer wanted to push himself in order to show other people, but also himself, that they were wrong. I like this subject. I like these messages all the times. And I think this was really good. I mean, it was really well portrayed here. I personally loved this part. Then he has number 5. See, number 2, no, number 5. He wants, as I told you already, he wants to become the best son of his world, the world in which he is living in. So he has these six reasons, these scenes, these six goals to push himself to go on. But the more we go on with the episode, the more we analyze his personality and the more we feel that all these goals are falling down one after the other one. And that's so sad. Look, Rainer is the typical person that created lots of expectations on others. He was expecting that other people accepted him more or less sooner or later. He was expecting that his father would have come back. He was expecting that his mother would have accepted him as the best son. He expected to become a hero for others because he wanted to redeem himself for the fault he has. Okay. But at the same time, he felt as if he was wrong. When a person feels I'm wrong, he or she is always pushing himself or herself to do better, 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 because I have to prove them that they are wrong, because I have to prove them that I can be accepted, because I have to show them that they are wrong. And Rainer did that. But look, wow. What I saw through the episode was not the rising of the hero. It was the descendants of the hero. I mean, instead of going up, we go down in this episode, and that's quite sad. I think usually in shonen, you see that the hero is having a hard time, and then through this hard time, he's going up. I mean, this line is going, ooh, okay, and the hero is becoming the hero. So we have something positive, something optimistic. But in this shonen, we see totally the opposite. We start from here and we go down. So optimism, help me, please. Well, okay, it was quite sad, believe me. I have never expected that Rainer to have this background story, but at the same time, I thought, look, throughout all his traumas we see in the previous seasons, we understand that Rainer had problems. But in this episode, we understood when this trauma started and all the other things going on later. So it was good. It was good to see a different side of Rainer. I'm really happy because I think even the villains, okay, the characters who are considered villains, they experienced something in order to become like that. I know it's wrong. I mean, it's something wrong to do. You have some bad experiences and you turn into a villain. It's wrong. But it's reality. I mean, it happens. In many other shonen, we see the same things. So it's perfectly going on with the genre. And I feel satisfied. Yeah. Look, in the previous episode, we saw that Galliard, he was against Rainer because he felt that he was guilty because of his brother's death, and I felt also in that case, even in episode 2, okay, you see that Marcel is dying because he wants to protect Rainer. That's what we saw in the previous seasons. But there was something behind all this, and I felt surprised too. But anyway, yeah, we see Galliard that he is against Rainer, first of all, because his brother was dying because of him, and he died to protect him, okay? I don't believe that's the main reason. In fact, we see that Galliard, sorry, when Marcel called him porco, I laughed because in Italian, porco is not a nice name, is not something nice to say to other people. is something as a negative connotation, and that's why I laughed. Usually we use porco when you wanted to say that a person is a hentai, he's a perverted person, or yeah, you can say porco even for the meat, okay, that is pork, but it's not seen in such a nice way in Italy if you say to a person porco. So that's why I laughed a little bit. What? His name is Porco? I mean, why is Ayama chose this name? But anyway, personally, I don't like Galliard because he pushed Rainer to think about himself as if he was nothing. And yeah, I can understand the other reasons after. I mean, after he knew that Marcel was dead because of Rainer, I understand that reason. I mean, I understand why he doesn't like Rainer, but I don't like him because before that episode happened, Galliard already felt against Reiner. I mean, he didn't like Reiner for sure because he thought he was useless, because he thought uh, he didn't have skills, he was not good. So I think this antipathy, I mean, this uh, opposition was starting before that episode, and that's why I personally don't like Galliard because he wants to be a titan, he wants to be the one, okay, but he is the typical person who is envious because other people make what he wants to make. And personally, I don't like people who are envious. I think all people have the best moments and the best chances to show other people what they are, what they do, what they can do. So there's nothing to be envious here. I think Galliard made a mistake because that made Rainer feel inferior more than he was. Because I remind you this, Rainer, he's an alien, so he's already feeling inferior than others because compared to Marley, he is inferior. He's a scum. Okay, he's nothing. So that's why I think, yeah, Galliard put another plus to Reiner to feel inferior than others, and I don't like it personally. No. Um, okay, there is, yes, I wrote, in fact, there is this connection with episode 2 because we see that in episode 2, Galliard shows himself totally against Reiner, and he said, oh, if I went there 9 years ago, things would have been different. Who knows? How can you say it? How are you such confident in this? No, you can't say it. So stop saying these things until you are experiencing it, because nobody could believe that the Paradise people could have beaten the Beast Titan, the Colossal Titan, Reiner. I mean, the Armored Titan. The female Titan. They couldn't believe this. So you don't know what's going to happen until you try it, until you experience it. So Galliard is wrong, in my opinion, definitely, to be so self-confident, okay, in that case. Then, okay, I wrote another thing. I think Rainer has a quality, as Berthold said. He is loyal to Marley, and it's not good to say to a person you don't have skills, because even if Rainer is not physically strong at the beginning, he's strong mentally speaking. And when Galliard is saying to him, look, you're nothing, you don't have the strength, you don't have the strategical mind, you don't have this, you don't have that, so why you should be chosen and stuff like that. No, Rainer has the loyalty. And Bertold is right. You have this. You have this quality. So don't underestimate yourself because everyone here has a quality. I liked that side of Bertold, Bertoldo, sorry, Bertold. But yeah, when Galliard is going against Rainer, Rainer is stopping him once again and he's saying, um, are you someone who's still on the side of the aliens in paradise? Should I go to say this to the commanders and stuff like that? He's using the same strategy even now because in the previous episode with the Falco, he was using the same thing. I mean, he was saying this to Falco, even if it was to protect him, in my opinion, but that's my personal opinion and taste of the thing. But on the other side, he has like a switch in on his mind, inside his mind, that when there is a danger, when there is something that is dangerous to him, I mean to Rainer, he's switching this mode and he's going to accuse others because he knows that by accusing others, other people can trust him, and the fault guy is Galliard in this moment. Do you understand what I mean? I think he's using this tactic in order to protect himself, and he's doing this even with the Falco in episode 2. So that's the only way to protect himself because nobody else is protecting Ryder. I mean, nobody is behind his back to protect him. And since he was a child, he had to protect himself from everybody. Okay, so let's put ourselves in his position right now. He was lonely. He was totally alone without the support of his mother because his mother was just using him, as I told you already. Without the support of his father because he left. And then we saw that scene that was disgusting, in my opinion. But we will talk about it later. He doesn't have the support of his friends. He doesn't have the support of his team. He doesn't have the support of the rest of the Marley because he's always considered as nothing. So he is himself only. So he has to find a way to protect himself from accusations, from people who are going to attack him all the times. And look, that's the only way to protect himself. That's the best way to attack others. And usually people do like this when they feel alone. Because if Rainer could have had a friend to protect him all the times, and that's not Marcel, and later I'm going to explain you why, things would have been different. If he only could have had a person next to him in the best way, in the most realistic way possible, Rainer, I don't think he would have accused all the others. Oh, look, should I report these to the commanders? Oh, are you against the aliens living in Marley? Are you on the side of the demons and stuff like that? He's always accusing when other people are accusing him. Or when other people are telling him, you are wrong, you are nothing, you are inferior, blah, 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 blah. It's a way, it's a shield. And that's why he became the Armored Titan. In my opinion, he is chosen because he has always gone against everybody. And he knows how to defend himself with the shield he created. So that was the best choice. I mean, to choose Rainer as the Armored Titan is the metaphor of his life. Try to think about that. He was always alone. He always had to defend himself from others. And the shield of the Armored Titan is the metaphor of his life. He has always had to defend himself from others. That's perfect. That's the perfect role for him. Don't you think? I think no. Porco, sorry, but Galliard was not good. He was too confident. It seems Galliard always seems as if he's the best, that he is a superior, that he has all the qualities, that he is this, that he is that. Now more than before, I understand why Gabi loves him. because Galliard is the perfect representation of the exaltation of the skills or the narcissism, but you don't go too far if you go on with this attitude, in my opinion. You should be humble. You should stay humble. Because later, if something is happening to you, then people can tell you, "Well, you were not superior than others. You were not better than others. So what's going on?" That's what I believe. Uh, then, um, another thing. This point is important, in my opinion. We have always thought that Marcel was protecting Rainer. And throughout this episode, and I said it even in the reaction video, he was keep saying, "I'm sorry, Rainer. I'm sorry, Rainer. I'm sorry." Usually, when a person is keeping saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," there's something else. I mean, there is another reason why he's saying sorry, and in fact, he told us why. On the surface, it seemed that um, Marcel was always protecting Rainer, that he was a good friend for him, that he was the reliable guy, okay? But later, we understand that Marcel is saying sorry because, "Sorry, Rainer, I'm using you because I'm protecting my brother." That's wrong. I mean, this is something wrong to do, even if I understand that he wants to protect his brother and this is something good. But at the same time, you're using another person. You are sending this person to war. And even if he's dying, okay, my brother is more important, definitely. But he is always a person. So that's not good. And as I was saying in the other commentary last week, they are all wrong. I keep believing this. They are all wrong. One for one reason, one for the other reason. Aliens are wrong for aliens in Paradise are wrong for one reason. Aliens in Marley they are wrong for one reason. Marley people are wrong for other reasons. The other countries who wanted to attack Marley they are wrong for another reason. Oh, it's all wrong. Look, okay, we will talk about it later, but I still believe everything is wrong here. So it will be really, really hard to change the world like this. Because in the position we are now, everything is wrong. Try to think about that. Is it easy to change a world that is already like this for so many years? Is it easy to change other people's mind and pretend to create this sort of a peace, this new starting point from nothing? No, I don't think it's easy. I really don't think it's easy. And that's why in the previous commentary, I said, at this point, the only thing we should do is to destroy everything. Look, we say it even tabula rasa. You erase everything, and after that erase, you can start once again. Because if we go on like this, I don't see anything good coming. And what should we do? I mean, if you remember in season 3 or even before, Erwin was accused to use people in order to reach his goal, his dream, okay? And he was accused to kill, to end other people's life because of himself, because of his goal, his dream. Here they are all the same in this case. I mean, poor Erwin, we accused him, okay? But now we see a reality that is even worse. So I think poor Erwin, he was not the only one to use people for their goals. He was not the only one to do what he did. And at the end of the day, I still prefer Erwin if we have to compare, because he was curious and he wanted to know what's after. And of course, if you wanted to know something that it was promiscuous or it was like a secret, of course you have to sacrifice some things. It's impossible to go on so easily with everybody. No, it was not possible. But I don't think Erwin was bad, or he was, because yes, he was using people. But so if we are condemning Erwin for what he did, we should condemn everybody, because everybody right now is using other people. Everybody. Paradis, Eldian in Marle, Marle, everybody. No excuses, no differences from my point of view. So they are not excused. Okay. So yes, going back, sorry, 1 second, I opened the bracket. Follow me, try to follow me. Yeah, this, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. On, so, on the superficial way, I mean, superficially speaking, we think Marcel is doing this to protect Rainer, to defend his friend from his own brother who's always attacking Rainer. No, at the end, we understood this. And at this point, if we rewatch what's happening in previous seasons, do we still believe that Marcel was a real friend who protected Rainer from Ymir or Ymir, whatever? Or it was just an excuse to be seen as the most reliable guy, the person who really cared about everybody, the person who, um, on the surface, he was protecting the weaker guy, the weakest guy, that means Rainer. But at the end of the day, no, he was just, okay, go. The important thing, my brother is safe, but you can go. Is this a real friend? Question mark. I don't think so. I don't think so. But look, we should put ourselves in Marcel's position too. What would you have done? Would have you protected your brother? Or would you have said, Rainer, sorry, if I have to choose, you go? It's hard. It's hard to answer something like this, because I don't know. Probably I would have done the same. I mean, probably I would have protected my brother instead of the friend, because if you put themselves in this, I mean, like a sort of a balance, of course, my brother is more important than the friend or the comrade, okay? But probably Rainer felt as if Marcel was thinking that he was more important, that he was considered as a best friend because he was always protecting him. But that's just the surface. Then we understand something else. We understand that actually Rainer was not considered as his best friend, or he didn't want to protect him because of this. That's reality. Okay, let's go on, because then we see a parallel scene that was amazing. We see that while Rainer is talking to Bertolt and he's saying, look, I'm going to become the best son. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to become the hero. I'm going to become this. I'm going to become that. Yes, here and there. I'm going to be the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. We see the parallel scene in which Eren is saying, I hope something interesting is coming. Look, I think you found so many interesting things later, but that was hilarious. If you understand, that scene was beautiful. I like that. I really like that, definitely. And then there is this part in which there is this sort of introduction to all Titans in order for you to understand their abilities, why they were chosen, etc., etc., etc. I really liked that part, but at the same time, look at these kids. They seem adults. They are considered as adults. And that was so frustrating to watch, because even now in the real world we live in, there are countries in which kids are supposed to fight, are supposed to go to war, and they are supposed even to be killed by others with no problems. It was so hard to watch this. I don't like, I hate, simply hate how these kids were used as weapons, and it's terrible. It's so terrible. And the scenes in which they are presenting all the Titans, look, it seems like a trailer for a war movie. Okay, and I didn't like that. I mean, I like the scene how it was represented, because it was showing us how these kids are used. But on the other side, I don't like it because of the subject involved. I mean, kids used as weapons, kids used to go to war, and there is no pity, nothing, no mercy, nothing. There, nothing. We saw this even in reality with um, the World's War and stuff like that. People are objects. Let's use them. They are like tools. When we need, when we want, let's use them. This is really cruel, but real. And I think here Isayama portrayed this in the best way, when people are becoming tools. And yeah, I definitely feel that it was great to watch. Yes. Um, and connecting to what I'm saying now, do you remember when last week I told you that Megath, I mean Magato, okay, he doesn't seem to like this. Last week I told you when there was the parent scene, in which Gabi and all the others are meeting their parents after 4 years. You see Megath in the background, that he's looking at them, and I don't know, he feels sad. I don't think he likes what he's saying. I mean, I don't think he likes what he's doing at the end of the day. And here in this episode, we find another piece of the puzzle of my thought, because he's saying, look, but these kids are going over there to get the original title. I don't think I like this. Or he says something like that. The answer of the other one is something disgusting, because he said, well, what did you say? That these kids are destroying the country right now? What's the problem? Okay, let me say this. At the beginning, we thought that the problems were the Titans and the attacks made by Titans. Now here, I simply think that humanity is the problem. I mean, human beings are the problem. And I said it already in the previous episode commentary, but here I'm going to underline it one more time. Here, the problem is humanity. I mean, mankind. Because can you compare? I mean, even if Bertold, Rainer, Annie, whatever, they all attacked Paradise. But if you compare this with how people can be cruel, mentally cruel, what do you think it's worse? I think here. I mean, I think the brutality, the cruelty that is used in sentences, in answers, in the way people are mocking other people, like Kozlo in the previous episode. Look, oh, I can't watch that scene again, but I have to, because when my mother will come, we have to watch it once again. But anyway, I don't like. I think mankind is a problem here, and if I have to compare, I still hope that we can go back to season 1 with the usual attack with made by Titans. That was definitely better somehow. So yeah, I think Magato, I mean Megath, he doesn't like. He has a different opinion, and I can see it. Yeah. Uh, I don't think he is like others. I mean, I don't think that he thinks like others that okay, kids go, or he doesn't feel any pity in this. No, I think he is pitiful by watching these kids going, and I think he's pitiful when he saw that they met their parents once again after a war of 4 years in which you included kids. No, I have this feeling. Okay, then um, I have a question. When they are presenting all the titans, there is then a moment in which there is this exaltation somehow as the god of destruction. That is Berthold, I mean, the colossal titan. So here we see that Rainer is nothing. Rainer is not skillful. Rainer is under others, etc., etc., etc. Berthold, okay, he was chosen because of his brain, I mean, because of his intelligence. Okay, I think I got this. He was chosen for this reason. But look, guys, at the same time, Berthold, he was always under a Rainer in the previous seasons. He couldn't choose anything. He couldn't do anything without the support of others. He always had to wait Rainer's orders, let's say, or Rainer's plans. If we have to compare, I would have said that Rainer is better than Berthold. And I find that Rainer has more skills than him. I don't understand this exaltation of the Colossal because, yeah, the Colossal as a Titan itself is the hugest, and he has this huge power, he's a huge height and whatever. But look, Reiner is considered as nothing. But if we compare with Bertold, I would have chosen Reiner more than him, definitely. That's my opinion. I don't understand this exaltation of this character, Bertold, compared to Reiner, that is considered nothing. No, sorry, but no. Then Karin about that scene in which they are going, and they are all saying bye bye as if it's the best thing they are doing. I felt disgusted by that. And then to see Karina that is with the tears on her eyes. I wait, you come, please come back. Look, your son is going to war. And this is wrong, first of all. But then you hope he's doing a great job, and it's wrong. And then I can't. What kind of mother is that? I can't support, no matter the reasons she has. I can see, I can just see a mother using her kid to reach her goal. That's it. I mean, the kid here is a tool. He is not loved at all. No. So one goal of Rainer, do you remember the goals I told you, the 6 goals? Okay. The first goal I told you, Rainer wants to be the pride of his mother. I mean, he wants that his mother feels proud of him. Yeah, yes, but at the same time, he's considered, in my point of view, as a tool for her personal goals, and she doesn't love him at all. So one goal is down, is falling down. Okay. But then we see the scene of the father. I'm speechless. I mean, no way. And here, another goal of Reiner falls down. That means, number 2, that means to create a family, to stay together with the father, and to make what he's making in order to reach his father. I mean, in order to stay with his father and create a family. Falling down. He doesn't care at all. He is afraid of his family, because if other people knew that he stayed with an alien, maybe he was sentenced to death. I mean, he was okay, because at the beginning, Karina said that Marley can't stay with aliens. So I think that he was going to be killed, definitely. But then, look, another goal is falling totally. So 2 goals of 6 right now, they are out, in my opinion, definitely. The third goal who fell down is that Rainer wants to be the best son. Also, in that case, this is the sixth, okay, the sixth goal that I mentioned before. But also in that case, it's falling down, because Rainer is coming back after so many years, and he was almost defeated. So he can't be appreciated by his mother, and it's like as if he's disappointing her, and it's another goal falling down. He was supposed to go to be appreciated by her first, but they lost it. So yeah, they won the war, but it was just luck, because if they couldn't finish that battle with Rainer and with Zeke, they couldn't win anyway. And I see this disappointment somehow, when they come back to meet the parents, and Karina is saying, Rainer, you should be tired, let's go to rest, or something like that. Or when they are at the dinner, and I'm not referring to the speech Rainer gave, that it was just mocking them. I repeat this to you. But anyway, when Gabi was more exalted, more emphasized, more, how can I say, she was shining more than Rainer at that dinner, and Rainer felt one step back once again, because now the focus is on somebody else once again, and it's not on him, that he's more experienced, that he's still the armored titan, blah blah blah. No, people are caring now about Gabi. They don't care about him. So the story is repeating once again. And that's why I felt that even this goal fell down in that moment. I mean, when he was discussing with his father, but even when he came back. So now we have 3 goals down. We still have other 3 that are to be accepted. Yes. Also in this case, to be accepted as a strong child. Also that goal fell down, because he lost. He came back. That he lost. He came back from paradise, that he couldn't make it. So 4 goals down. And then become a hero instead of a loser. He lost, so he couldn't become a hero. He couldn't be accepted. He couldn't be seen as a winner. 5 goals down. And then, of course, there is another goal, that is the mission. The mission itself failed, and he was going there, yes, to be accepted by others, to be considered the best son, to be the pride of his mother, to go back with his father and create a family, whatever, blah 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 blah. But the mission he was looking for, the mission that could let him become all these other goals he had, failed. So we have 6 goals, all 6 goals falling down. So the existence of Rainer, where is it? I mean, the purpose, the meaning of going on living here, where is it? When all of your goals are falling down, when all of your purposes in life are going down, are falling down, where's the purpose of going on living? That's what the Rainer is thinking, I guess. And we saw it. Okay, let's go on. Yeah, the meeting with his father was something crazy. Also, in this case, you see the brutality of human beings. Because look, we are afraid of demons, we are afraid of ghosts, we are afraid of monsters or whatever. We should be afraid of who we have next to us or around us, because most of the times the people we should be afraid of are around us. You know what I mean? This was one of the best examples. How can you say things like this to a child? And also in this case, children are considered as adults because there is no empathy, there is no kindness, nothing. There is just the way to use them, the way to demolish them, the way to kill them. Because, okay, if Rainer was killed, okay, I think Karina was saying, oh, instead of saying, oh no, Rainer, my dear, he fell. I mean, he was ended or not. No, in my opinion, she would have said, ah, once again, this goal to defeat these demons was over, ended. So I don't like Karina. I don't like his father. I don't like this universe. This context. I don't like it. No. Then, then, yes, another goal that was falling, as I was telling you already, is when Marcel said, "Look, you were not the chosen. I helped them to choose you." Because otherwise they would have picked my brother, and I preferred to protect him. So even this myth, okay, even this idea that Marcel could have been his friend, or he could have been the only one recognizing his skills, or the fact itself that he was chosen. When Marcel said, "No, you are not supposed to be chosen." Look, in Italy we say "mai una gioia." uh, Everything was demolishing him. How can you expect that a kid can find confidence once again, or can restart a life once again with these facts in front of his eyes? I don't think it's possible. That, that's cruel. That's not something easy to do. I felt so sad for Rainer in that moment. But at the same time, he keeps going on with the mission. Because when others they wanted to say, no, let's go back, etc., etc., he says, no, we have to go on with this mission. What are you saying? We have this mission. We have to fulfill it till the end. And look, Rainer is trying to hang himself to the last option he has, that is the mission, but he failed. So, what a life. I mean, I can't. Maybe when maybe if I found myself in his position, I would have felt the same. Reiner's life is really heavy and really difficult to digest somehow. So definitely. Um, and then after all these problems, I mean, after all these goals falling down, as I told you, there is one more problem. That means Marcel's death, because he's accused to be the fault guy. He's accused to be the one who made all this happen. And look, another problem, another burden. I mean, now we have another heavy burden on Reiner's back. Look, it's impossible. He can't have the life he wants. All his goals are falling down, one after the other one, and he's still a kid. He's still a kid, and then he still has another problem. He's accused of Marcel's death. How can you handle this if you're a kid? I don't know how he could do that, because no, okay, I know, because he was raised as a soldier. since the beginning. So, and he was considered as an adult. So there is no empathy, as I told you, no kindness, no difference between adults and kids. They are all the same and they are treated the same. That's how they were educated. And this context in which they are living, it's wrong, totally wrong. Um, why Rainer feels guilty is because of Annie too, because she's saying, look, you were the fault guy. He did it for you, to save you. So, but look, in this case, why Marcel wanted to protect Rainer? I mean, he wanted to protect Rainer because he cared, or he wanted to be killed because he was tired to go on pretending to be what he was not. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but I felt as if Marcel wanted to die at that moment because he was tired of the life he was living. I mean, he was tired of the impression he was giving to other people. And that's why he did it. Not because, once again, not because he wanted to protect Rainer, because he didn't consider the Rainer as a best friend. No, it was just an illusion. It was just in Rainer's mind. That's what I believe. That's my thought. Then if it's wrong, okay, it's wrong. But anyway, that's what I felt. And then, of course, later, Rainer is saying, look, even if you go to Marle and you say that I'm guilty, no, we are guilty because we all ran when Marcel was killed by Ymir or Ymir. So why are you accusing me? And once again, he is protecting himself because other people are accusing him. He is totally alone, Rainer, in that moment. Totally. Nobody is on his side. So in order to defend himself, he has to attack people. He has to provoke people because that's the only thing he has. There's no defense behind him. And that's why he's pushing by saying, no, why are you saying this? Remember the mission. Why do you say that I'm the only one doing this here, doing this? We all ran, so we are all wrong. It's a way to protect himself from accusations. What I really understood about Rainer's traumas. Allora, allora is in Italian, okay. Okay, first, first, the first trauma is that, I mean, he's Rainer's father reaction. First trauma. Second trauma is when he knows that he was not chosen. Third trauma, the fact that he is nothing for everybody. He's not skilled. Who cares? You can stay at home. You were chosen just because of the favors you made to the commanders and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. Fourth trauma is Marcel's death. I mean, the best representation of the traumas of Rainer is a scene when Annie is kicking him after Marcel's death, and he's screaming. Oh, that scene was. I felt so sad for Rainer in that moment. Even if I disliked him till season 3 part 2. In that moment, I felt so bad. We see a kid that is molested somehow. He's tortured, mentally speaking. I'm speechless. That was one of the worst scenes I saw. Definitely one of the worst. Okay, then when Annie said, we can't finish this mission without Marcel, Another time, one more time, repeating this, Rainer feels nothing because if without the Marcel we can't do it, okay, once again, I am nothing. Oh, it's just a repetition, see? Repetition of the repetition of the, it's a brainwash of the brainwash. All their lives was a brainwash, but Rainer was brainwashed double because he was brainwashed as all the others, but he was always brainwashed by saying that he was inferior and he was nothing compared to others. So, wow, nice. Um, I like the one sentence Annie said, and I think she's totally right. I totally agree with her when she said both Marle and Eldians are wrong because they always think about themselves only. Yes, yes, I agree with her. And when she said, I am doing this too, I'm not different because I want to go back home. So I have a purpose. I have a reason too. And we are all wrong because we always think about ourselves. That's correct. That's why that world is all wrong. No matter on which side you stay, we are wrong. And when we understand this, we also understand. So who's right? Who's wrong? Maybe they are all wrong. I mean, until they will tell me something different or they will show me an evidence that one side is better than the other one, in my opinion, they are still all wrong. So she's right. Selfishness is really remarked here. Everybody thinks about themselves. So she's correct. She is right. But I was so surprised because Annie, for the first time, can say something like this without being heard by Marle. I mean, she can say it because she is not heard for the first time, okay? She is heard by Rainer and Bertold, but finally she could say it. I think she has always thought something like this, but finally she's in paradise, so she could say it. And she was not afraid to be listened. Like in episode 2, do you remember the gramophone? Yeah. She felt, oh, let me say it. And she was right. Um, when Rainer said, now Rainer is dead. Actually, he was. Because of all the things I told you till now. I mean, all goals are falling down. No respect from others. No other reasons to live, to go on living. Actually, when he said, Mo Rainer Shinda, I mean, when Rainer now is dead. Yes, he is. Because there is no other goals left. There is no other purpose to be Rainer anymore. And in fact, then he said, let me be. Let me become your Marcel. And it's connecting with episode 1 when, no, episode 1, no, sorry, episode 2. Sorry, when the Galliard is asking him, were you trying to be reliable as my brother? And he said, yes, I did. He started from that moment. He wanted to become reliable to some other people. And he wanted to be the leader, finally, for the first time. He did it because he suggested the things to Bertold in the other seasons coming next. That means season 3, it's season 2, season 3, how to attack Wall Rose, what to do. He took the place of Marcel, but just because finally he could have been somebody else. And finally he could have been appreciated, or finally he could have been followed. But I agree, in that moment Rainer died somehow, because now he pretended to be somebody else, or pretended to be just another side of himself that other people didn't want to check. Because other people didn't want to discover Rainer more, didn't want to approach Rainer, didn't want to go on knowing more Reiner's story. So for other people, it's just a replacement. But for himself, he's just a personal revenge. I mean, nobody wanted to know me. Nobody wanted to appreciate me. Okay, let you think that now that person is somebody else. But he's not. He's always Rainer. But it's difficult to explain. But yeah, somehow Rainer died in that moment, and he wanted to be replaced. I mean, sorry, he wanted to replace somebody else. That means Marcel. And in fact, later he did it. Okay, he took his place. But that's not at the same time. It's not another Rainer. He's always the same Rainer, but he's fulfilling his dream. That means to be recognized, to be the leader, to be this, to be that, to be reliable, to be followed, to be praised. In fact, later we see. Hmm. Okay, let's go on. Sorry, I'm talking too much. And then there is the scene when what's his name? Okay, we are in Paradise, and he is becoming one of the soldiers. Okay, and what's his name? Oh, okay, now Davis. Oh, I don't remember. Sorry. But anyway, he's asking him, "Why are you here? To save humanity?" Yes, from his point of view, yes, he was doing this because the mission, Sadis. Thank you, Max. Yes, the mission was to end the demons on the other side, to save humanity. Yes, it's true. That mission was the mission for Rainer. So it's correct. And then, okay, there is that scene of the village, of the man of the village. Oh, guys, now over there too, we understand how Rainer took the story of somebody else to make it feel as if it's their story. Because when they met Eren and the others are asking them, "Oh, how is your story? What happened to you?" etc., etc. And Rainer is saying, is talking by saying, "This is a story. This is as a storytelling." Okay, it's a storytelling actually, because he took the story from that man who committed suicide later, but he pretended to use the story of other people in order to be convincible, in order to let other people trust him. He made it actually. But yeah, when I saw the scene of the window, I saw it already. Yes, because when Rainer was explaining his fake story of what happened inside the Wall Maria when Wall Maria was attacked, yes, he used that tactic. He used the story of another person, and the fact that yes, when I realized it, I was surprised. Look, this episode was always because I was surprised. Then we see Kenny. Look, wow, Natsukashi. I mean, I feel nostalgic because I think Kenny was a nice character at the end of the day. He was saying something really nice and really true. I told you many, many times, I like Kenny when he said, "We are always obsessed by something. I mean, we are always attached or slave to something." Totally agree. And we see it here. Even in season 4, we see it clearly how right he was. But then, anyway, except for that, we see this scene with Annie, and that was hilarious. Annie pretended to be his child. Oh, come on. But yeah, we understood that even from that moment, Kenny already knew that something was wrong, that something was happening inside the walls. And this was really nice to see, because we understand that other characters were involved in other things we couldn't see, but at the same time, they were going on a different path, but they knew something already, and he understood something was wrong or something was about to happen. Yeah, it was nice to see this cameo regarding Kenny because I hope. I don't know. I felt so sorry he died. He could have given more to us still, but that's my personal taste. Yeah. Um, yeah, then when there is this Annie sketch, I mean, when Annie is saying to Raina, most of your friends will die here if we attack Rose, right? And Rainer says, oh, can you stop saying this? How many times do I have to repeat you? These are not my friends. These are demons, etc., etc., etc. No, come on, Rainer. Those people are the only one who cared about you, who praised you, who wanted you as their best friend. I know you. It's like as if Rainer keeps tricking people. I mean, he wants to trick people because he thinks that other people are so stupid that they don't realize reality. Come on, Rainer. You considered them as friends. You believed it too. You started playing the role of a person who was a spy, etc., etc. But then it happened the contrary. I mean, you got affectionate to them, and that's reality. That that's what happens most of the times. You start by saying, "Ah, it's a joke. Come on, it's a joke." Even in love, okay, you start saying, "Ah, no, come on, yeah, I don't like him," or "Ah, I'm just joking. I'm not saying the truth." Mm-mm. There's always a piece. 1% of truth in everything we do. So I think even Rainer, yeah, he considered them as friends. And but now there's this mission that is more important than this. He can't betray the mission because the mission is the only thing he has now. The one thing left is the mission. If also the mission is falling, and if it fell, okay. But anyway, at that time, he still had the mission. And without the mission, the life was over. Um, and then, ooh, then we see the scene, one of the most important, in my opinion, till now, is that the scene in which we see how much Rainer and Eren are the same. Because, look, I wrote it even here. When Eren said that he wants to become like him and Mikasa, he's praising him. So he likes this. He hoped for his entire life to find a person in Marley who was going to say, Rainer, I wanted to be like you. Where did he find this person? In Paradise. Hilarious. But then Eren is like Rainer because he also in Paradise, I mean Eren in Paradise, he feels inferior than others. Rainer finally found somebody who can understand him. And where did he find this person? In Paradise. Hilarious, right? I mean, in the country, I mean, in the place where all are supposed to be demons or all are supposed to be evil and stuff like that. No, he found himself. He found somebody who could have understand him, praise him, devote him, become friends, etc., etc., etc. That's great. Because, as I said already in the commentary of episode 1, they are all the same. No matter if it's alien living in Paradise and alien living in Marley, they are treated the same. They are considered the same. They are used the same. They are the same, but they are blind. They don't understand that they are the same, even if it's obvious. But anyway, wow. And And when Rainer gave this advice to Eren, when he said, "Go on, don't don't stop. I mean, move on, go on with your mission," because he also has a mission. So if he's going to say to him, "Stop with this dream you have," he is ending himself too. So he gives him, I mean, Rainer gives Eren the same advice. Don't stop. Go on with your mission. You said that you were about to defeat all the Titans. I think you will be the one who will make it. That was that was amazing because we know what happened next. But anyway, yeah, in this moment you find how much Rainer and Eren are the same, and it was really beautiful. And at the same time, we find that Rainer who finds a great friend, but in the wrong context. I think from that moment, he changed his mind. And that's why when he came back, he was mocking the aliens in Marley at that dinner when he gave all the examples of how evil the aliens in the paradise are. That was mocking them. He was definitely mocking them because from that moment he understood that in paradise they are not wrong. I mean, that in paradise they are not devils, they are the same. So they should be treated the same. That was beautiful, definitely, definitely beautiful. Yeah. And then there is this sad scene in which Rainer wants to commit suicide, and I am so happy he didn't. It's a paradox. I mean, if you think about that, if we could have seen this scene in the previous seasons, I would have said, "Oh, finally! Oh, we made it!" Huh? But no, in this season, I changed my mind. I don't want him to die because now I understand his story. And poor Rainer, he was. Let me say this: he was so brave to go on living till now. I mean, let's put ourselves in his position. It was unbelievably hard to go on living in a situation like that. So he was really brave and he was really a warrior, a warrior of his own life, not just the life around him as in the war context that we usually know, but it was a war also for himself, for his past, his story, his traumas. Let's connect with the opening. My war. Okay, it could be these two, because I think Reiner's life was an entire war, and I feel sorry for him. Yes, I definitely felt sorry. But hope. I mean, finally, at the end, he didn't want to do this, and thanks to Falco. Thank you, Falco. You came in the best. I mean, the most important moment. Thank you. And then he said, "Yes, I still have them." He said, "That means the new generation." But I think he wants to do something different. He doesn't want to repeat the same mistake. I mean, he doesn't want that the new generation is making the same mistakes his generation made. I think he is going to use, sorry to use this term, but he's going to use them in a different way. And maybe for the best. Can you imagine if Reiner becomes the revolution, something that we don't expect? That I mean, usually we think that aliens in Marley, they think because they were instructed, they were educated like this. But if Reiner now has a different opinion and he has seen the paradise in a different way, then he can change their minds and he can let them understand that what they are doing till now is wrong. They have to change. Because if we don't change the background, we will never change the story. The story has to be changed somehow. That's what I believe. And that's why I said to you last time it's better to erase everything because they are all wrong. um, okay, okay, we reached the final scene. Finally. Um, I think it will take time, so please follow me a little bit. First of all, people told me, oh, why did you understand it was Eren? In the previous commentary, I spent almost 2 hours to explain this. And my theories were just the theories, but let me explain once again all these theories so nobody can say that I didn't say that. First of all, the armband. Okay, in the previous episode, we saw that Falco says the armband is on the wrong arm. Come on, who's going to put the armband in the wrong arm if you're in that world? Nobody, right? Only people who come from outside. So that's the one reason. The second reason, the eyes are not shown. Because if you could see the eyes of Eren, you could have realized that was Eren, even if he has long hair. Come on. Second of all, he has long hair like his father had. So it could be Eren. Fourth of all, because he has black hair, long hair. And I said, Connie, it's impossible because from the visual we see that he has a short hair. John, no, because we saw it already in episode 1 and he has a different hair. Even if he liked to be the look-alike of Eren. No, I'm joking. Mikasa, it's impossible because he has mustache and a little bit of beard. Levi, I don't think so because I can't imagine Levi with long hair, and also because this man he seemed to be a little bit tall, okay, and Levi is not so tall. Then fifth reason is because of the leg, because I said already that the leg he could regenerate himself whenever he wanted. He did it. It happened even in season 1 with the arm by saving Armin. So it could have been possible. So all these reasons are behind my thought that that was Eren. Sorry, number six, because probably he could have infiltrated in this hospital, in this mental illnesses building or facility, whatever. That could have been possible. 6 reasons already I gave. So, but then other people said, well, another person, not other people, another person told me, well, how could you recognize that was Eren before even hearing his voice? No, wait. If you look at the reaction, Eren is talking, but there is the black screen that I put it in the middle, so you can't see. But Eren is already talking, and that's why later I said, Eren, because Kageyuki's voice is recognizable a lot. No matter if he's going to decrease the voice or raise the voice, he's always Kageyuki's voice. So it's obvious it's Eren. Then, when I was surprised at the beginning when Falco saw him and after the, hey, why I said this? I mean, why I was so surprised is because in the previous commentary of last week, I told, no, not in the commentary, in the rewatch, okay, of last week, you can find it on the channel. I told you one of my theory. I said, when I heard Reiner and Falco talking in the train, Falco said, I am Falco Grice. At that point, if you remember, I stopped the video and I said, Grice. But Grice was the friend of Grisha. Grisha's friend. When Grisha is, at the end of season 3, part 2, there is the story of Grisha, and there is this Grice who's asking Grisha, did you understand everything from that panel? I mean, from that story of Yumiru? And Grisha said, no, I didn't read it all, but it's okay, because of course we are right. That man is Grice, and he has the same hair as Falco and the Colt. And he's the friend of Grisha. So I said, is Falco from the same family of Grice? Because if he's a part of the same family and he's meeting again Eren, or that man, okay, that in my opinion was Eren. Eren has Grisha's memories. And probably if he said, hello, nice to meet you, I'm Falco Grice, probably these memories from Grisha made Eren remember about this Grice, a friend of Grisha, who accused Grisha at the end because he followed the wrong side before becoming a Titan, etc., etc. That was just my theory. So when I saw Falco meeting again this man, I said, oh, don't tell me it's Eren, because don't tell me that they are going to say, nice to meet you, I don't know, I am Eren, or I am Falco Grice. That was my theory. Another point in which I thought, that's Eren. Do you understand what I mean? I said it already, if you check last week. So I didn't read the manga. It was just my supposition when I heard Falco Grice. So yeah, I loved that moment, and I felt, oh no, they are presenting. They are introducing themselves. But it didn't happen. Okay. Then Kajiyuki's voice. Okay, it's Eren. Come on. To me, it was evident for so many reasons. Look, 6 reasons plus the 7th. So I told you everything. But anyway, the speech of Eren was amazing. In my opinion, was definitely great. And what he said, first of all, he's saying that he's faking to stay here, to stay there. He's faking to be ill, but because he doesn't want to come back home. From that thing, even if you didn't look at his eyes, you understand it's Eren. Because at the end of season 3, part 2, Mikasa is saying, Eren, he doesn't want to come back. Okay. But he doesn't want to come back because he has a plan at this point. He wants to discover the truth. So that's why he doesn't want to come back. And he has to find a way to fake that he's over there, because he's not mentally ill. He knows everything. And he's so smart. But then there is a sentence that I don't understand. And the sentence is, I can't face my family anymore. And in fact, during the reaction video, I said, Kazuku? My question is, follow me. At the end of season 3, part 2, we see that, we know that even Kruger, he's saying, be careful, save Mikasa and Armin and all the others. And Grisha is saying, who are Mikasa and Armin? And he said, I don't know. So, here, who's talking? Eren doesn't have a family right now because his mother is dead. His father, he ate his father. Okay, there's Mikasa. I don't think he's considered, when he's saying this sentence, I don't think he's saying he's referring to Mikasa. So who's talking here? Is somebody from the future? Is somebody from the past? Because it happened already. But I can't connect this sentence with Eren. Because he doesn't have a family. Yet, maybe. So maybe somebody is talking from the future? Or is somebody talking from the past? Or, wait, an illumination. Now he is in Marle. And actually, he has a family. He has a family, y'all. Zika is his brother. And there are still the grandma and the grandpa who are part of his family because they are Eren's grandpa and Eren's grandma. Hmm. That could be. But it could also be what I told you. I mean, by giving the example to you of Kruger saying, "Oh, save Mika's an army," who are they? I don't know. Maybe it's somebody in the future or somebody in the past talking. I can't face my family anymore. In my opinion, there are these two options. Okay, in Paradise, he doesn't have a family, but now in Marley, he has a family, Zeke and his grandpa and grandma, or there is somebody else talking from the past or from the future. And he or he is saying this. That could be. Because I can't put this sentence into a specific context right now. But anyway, when then Eren, when he is asking Falco, "Are you going to say this to the doctors?" And Falco is saying, "No, I will not." He was testing his personality. I mean, Eren was trying to see if Falco could have been trustworthy. I mean, if he could trust Falco or not. So maybe by doing this, he is saying something random in order to see if Falco would have said something to others. Maybe he was just testing Falco. I mean, by saying I can't face my family anymore, maybe there was just an excuse, a certain sentence, I mean, a random sentence to say to see if Falco could have said it or not, or if he could trust Falco or not. That could be a third possibility. Okay. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Then, guys, oh, the story is repeating itself because Rainer was always inferior than others. He considered himself inferior than others also because other people told him this, okay? Follow me. Eren was feeling the same in Paradise. He felt inferior because he was feeling inferior by himself. I mean, he was feeling inferior than others by himself. He was considered this by himself, but also from others. Because do you remember Jan told Eren all the times, "Ah, you're nothing. Come on, when you will do something productive, when you will do something, blah 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 blah." Now even Falco has the same problem because Falco said, "I feel inferior than others. I don't feel skillful as others." And in this case, also in this case, he's not just considering himself like this, but even other people like Gabi told him, "Look, compared to me," okay, the story is repeating at the same time in different contexts, but it's the same. So the fact that Falco has a connection both to Raina, but even with Eren, that's good. All these three, they have something in common. This is unexpected. But if you think about that, yeah, it's true. It's definitely true. But then, look, guys. Then Eren said, because he feels inferior, okay? So he can't become a Kyojin. I mean, he can't become the next owner of a Titan, in Falco's opinion. Eren said, I'm happy because you will live a long life. Also, in this case, I was so amazed by this sentence because, of course, if you don't become a Titan, you live longer than 13 years, right? So you have a longer life. And maybe Eren was happy because he couldn't have been involved in all this mess that was created by mankind. Or maybe also in this case, Eren is seeing something from the future, and he's already seeing that Falco is going to live a long life. But anyway, he said, okay, you're a good guy, and I'm happy that you can live longer. See, it depends how you see the scene as it is. But anyway, that was really nice because I think Eren still hopes that this bad thing, all this bad loop that is going on and on and on through generations, is going to save somebody. He's going to let other people stay out of it and not to be involved. Because if you're involved, he already knows what's going to happen. You become a slave of this thing, and it's not going to end. So the fact that probably by being inferior from others, it's not a bad quality, it's a good quality because you stay out of the mess. Do you understand? And from this point of view, yes, I'm happy to. If a Falco can't become anything, I will be happy for him too. From this point of view, I agree with Eren, definitely. Yes. And then when Falco wants to protect Gabi, I laughed a little bit because Eren said, "Is it because it's a girl?" Yes, actually, yes. He knows about girls too. Uh, mm. But anyway, um, and then wow, I mean the last frames, the last scene, the last scenes. Wow, I mean his speech is amazing, and I totally agree with what he says. First of all, he said, why all these thing happened? Because if people could understand how physically, mentally uh, hard this is, how people can erase their freedom. I mean, they can't reach their freedom anymore. How people are erased mentally speaking, how they are tricked, how they are in a poor body conditions. Who would have been to war? I agree. I agree, but this is connected also to another thing because, yeah, it's it's not connected to the war itself only because, yeah, nobody wants to go to war if you know the result, right? Definitely true. But in my opinion, this is connected also to his dream too, because Eren started all this because he had a dream, two dreams, to see the ocean with Armin, but also to reach freedom, to go outside. And this can be the same. I mean, I can ask him the same question. Would you have done the same if they would have told you the result of your dreams? Because if he didn't dream to go outside, if he didn't dream to reach Umi, I mean to reach the ocean, if he didn't want, if he didn't have his revenge with his towards his mother, even if he didn't have the will to kill all the Titans, would he have discovered the rest of the world? No. But at the same time, he had this dream, and nobody would have understood what's after. By reaching this dream, nobody would have understood what's after that and how much he paid with friends' lives, with sacrifices in order to reach that goal. So, yes, this is a thing that regards people going to war in Marle's context, but he's also referring to himself because he also went to a place he was not supposed to go. And he reached it because there was something else waiting for him outside. And something he would have never expected, he would have never imagined. That's what I felt when he said something like this. And oh, look, I agree with him. That was amazing. That sentence was amazing, and I agree. Uh, and then he said, yes, connected to this, he said, these people who went to war, they were pushed by someone. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The aliens in Marley, they are pushed by Marley. And they are brainwashed by Marley. But at the same time, Eren was pushed too by Grisha. I mean, Eren's destiny is connected to Grisha's decision to make him become a Titan and have his revenge on his mother and to know the truth. So he was pushed anyway by Grisha too, somehow. But then he developed, okay, his own will because of what happened to his mother. And then, of course, he will never forget this. And of course, is a huge and good reason to take his revenge, definitely. And then he decided to put in his mind that thanks to this revenge, he's going to know the truth and he's going to defeat all the Titans. And it's the own will of his Titan too, the Shingeki no Kyojin, to go ahead, to discover, to go, to push yourself through everything in order to reach the goal. So, yes, he was also pushed by others, because Grisha made him become a Titan. I don't think Eren wanted to become a Titan. Grisha did it, okay? But then Eren himself, because do you remember, he didn't remember what happened. I mean, he didn't remember that Grisha injected him the serum, etc., etc., etc. He realized it later. But in the meantime, he made his own will. So later when he's saying that there are people who choose to do things in a different way, I mean, not by being pushed by others, yes, he did it, actually. Even if he started being pushed by others, then he developed his own will. So it's different, definitely. And when he said that, yes, something pushed these people to go to war, it reminds me of Erwin too, because Erwin too had a dream. Armin too had a dream. So it's not just someone who is pushing others to do something, but even something is pushing you to do something. Okay, the will to reach the ocean, the will to go to the basement in the case of Erwin, the will to discover the truth and to kill the Titans, Eren's will. Yes, all these um, decisions are both made by themselves, but also because somebody else pushed them to know more or to go on. Yes, then he said the people who choose to do something, they see a different hell. Because yes, he is right. When you are pushed to do something you don't want, you're going to face a reality as you don't want. I mean, you're going to face hell. Look at these kids when they went to war for 4 years. They were pushed by others. They were forced by others to see a hell that is war. And they didn't decide this. They were pushed. They were forced. They were brainwashed, okay? They were tortured too. So everybody is following something that is said by others, that is said by others. Look at Marley. They are forced to start another war to Paradise, against the Paradise. Otherwise, other countries are going to rebel and get the power of the Titans. So they are pushed, all pushed by somebody else or by something else. But yeah, in the case of Erwin, yes, he wanted to reach the basement, and in order to do that, he was pushed by his father's answer to his question, and from his father's revelations to go on. But in order to do this, he sacrificed many lives. So it was hell. definitely. Or the people following Erwin, they were forced to do the suicide attack. They were forced. They were pushed by Erwin and Levi, who decided to make this attack. They didn't want to do that. They didn't, but they had to. And yes, in that case, you see a hell because it's an imposed hell. But people, like Irene said, but people who are going to do the things they do because they wanted to do, they want to do them. Yes, they are going to face a hell, but it's a different hell because it was not an imposed hell. It was a hell chosen by them. And that hell can be, I don't know, a disillusion because probably, yeah, when Eren wants to go to see the ocean, he's so happy. And he says, I want to go to see the ocean. Yeah, let's go. And then there are lots of sacrifices. There are lots of things. There are many people's lives ended, etc., etc., etc. Many discoveries, blah, blah, blah. But then when in season 3, part 2, he reached the ocean, he said, through the memories of my father, I realized that the enemy is not the after the walls, but it's after the ocean. So the hell, nice. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So that hell was not imposed by others. Eren wanted to reach that hell, but unexpectedly, that's another hell, a bigger hell, something that was not supposed to be seen by him. But how can we face this now? Nobody pushed him to go that far. Or yes, or no, who knows? Because, listen, guys, when Grisha made him become a Titan, yes, he was supposed to revenge his mother, but anyway, he was supposed to discover the truth. So, was he pushed or not? Yes, at the beginning, and then Eren did the rest. It could be. But anyway, he was pushed by others before. Then his own will played a great role because as a Shingeki no Kyojin, he had to push himself till the truth. He had to push himself through till freedom. But in order to reach freedom, what type of hell should we see? That's the problem. Because as I told you in the commentary of last week, if he decides to end everything because it's too hard to change people's minds at this point, and because they are all wrong, the only thing to do is to erase everything. But in order to do this, what type of a hell are you supposed to face? A hell you have never imagined. That could be. And in fact, yes, he said that beyond this hell, there is or hope or another hell. Yes, when he reached the Umi, he said it. Wow, that was supposed to be the hope. That was supposed to be good, everything good. But thanks to the memories of my father, I saw that the enemy is, that on the other side of the ocean, there is not freedom, but there is the real enemy. A typical disillusion. That's what's happening when you're a kid and then you grow up as an adult and you realize the world you live in. This theme was, illusion and reality, as I told you many times, is used so many times in literature, so many times in philosophy. And no matter what kind of literature you study, you find this in Italian literature, you find it in the English literature, you find it in the German literature. That's what I studied, actually. You find it in philosophy. You find it almost maybe in mythology too. You find these things already in subjects that I personally love. And I am so grateful to Isayama that I can find all these themes here, all these beautiful themes I loved to study in the past here in this story. Yeah, the theme of disillusion, or the theme between innocence and experience, the theme of uh, children and adults, this contraposition, the dream of the theme of between dream and reality, all these big contrapositions are the milestones of literature, philosophy, whatever, even psychology. Yeah, and they are so great because when you're a kid, you have your own world, and it's so beautiful to be a kid because your world is full of colors, full of dreams, full of spontaneity, right? But then when you become an adult, you face reality, and all the colors you saw when you were a child, these colors are becoming gray, or sometimes they are becoming different, less shiny, because reality is different. You start experiencing death, you start experiencing suffering, you start experiencing even the bad sides of life. And that's what's making you disillusional, because you're facing something different. That's that's the perfect result of the speech of Aaron. And when he said, the only thing you have to do after all this, the last sentence when he revealed his face, was, look, let me say, he is kakui. I like him. With the long hair is, but okay, let me finish first. But when he said, the only thing you have to do in order to go beyond this another L is to move on. First of all, this is the mission of the Shingeki no Kyojin, to move on. Okay. Second of all, this thing makes you understand that he is repeating the same thing Reiner told him in that scene, in the flashback scene. So it's also thanks to Reiner if Eren became this. Because when he was in that moment of disappointment, totally disappointment of himself, Reiner was there to say, you have to move on. It's also thanks to Reiner, if you think about that. So I still hope Reiner and Eren can join together and they can make the difference finally. I don't know how, but it would be amazing, because that's something great in order to finish all this. One person from a Paradise and one person from Eldians in Marley, that they can join together once again and they can make a difference. Despite all the things other people are saying, oh, they are bad, oh, they are wrong, oh, they are good, and oh, they are wrong. Oh, I'm sick and tired to hear brainwashing methods like this. So, but yeah, guys, come on. Eren with long hair is great. I think it's a tribute to his father too, because his father had the same length, if I'm not wrong. But that's good. I like his personality till now. I like what he said, because what he said is totally true. Totally. We can't say the contrary. No. So I'm not disappointed at all in Eren till now. I think he matured, and also in his case, as I told you before season 4 would have started, Eren would have changed. Eren would have become adult, but at the same time, he would have been less, how can I say, less spontaneous, uh, quieter, and different. And how can you see that Eren changed is his personality, what he's doing. I mean, how he's talking, even because the tone of the voice. I wanted to thank Kajiyuki because he passed from stuff like that to this mild tone, this still tone of a voice that is full of disappointment and anger. I mean, now Eren is not using his tone of a voice, his louder tone of a voice to say what he thinks. He's quieter. He's saying probably the same things, okay, as before, but now he's quieter, he's more mature, and he has the vision of life that is totally different. So even in the tone of a voice, we started by being, yeah, I will go to kill all them. I will kill all the titans. Yeah, let's go. Let's push ourselves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I will. That was too much. Maybe now he discovered that he can do even better things by staying quieter and by thinking more. That's what's part of the evolution of the character. So I was supposed to see the difference, and I'm happy because all people change. The Eren we saw in season 2, season 1, season 3, that was the spontaneous Eren. That was the teenager Eren. Okay? That is full of himself. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I do everything. Yes, here, yes, there. And here we have the disillusional Eren, the people, the person who matured, the person who is convinced of how the world really is. And maybe it's time to decrease the tone of the voice and do more. I mean, instead of before, he was screaming a lot but doing less. Now he's reducing his tone of a voice, but he's doing more. You understand what I mean? I think, yeah, his voice was full of anger. I think he's angry with what's around him. He's angry because that thing, that context made him become how he is. But he knows that now he has a great and huge responsibility because Eren is a Shiso Titan also. I mean, Grisha ate Frida. So he inherited even the Shiso Titan. And I don't think he is happy of what he is about to do because, of course, these will involve other people's lives because it's impossible, guys. It's impossible that now nobody is going to die anymore and he's going to bring a peace as if he's a prophet. No. I mean, come on. We know that something has to happen, a final war or a final battle, but he is angry because he knows in which role he is in right now. And unfortunately, he has to take this responsibility. So he is angry, but he is sad, and he knows that he has to do what he has to do because otherwise there is no other way to change the world. So no matter how many people are going to die, in order to reach the final goal, let's say we have to, because there is no other way. I talked 2 hours, guys, but look, I'm proud of Isayama. I am proud of Mappa. And let me say, okay, I'm proud of Isayama because he turned this story upside down. He made us believe one thing till season 3 part 2. And then everything is going upside down. And now we see a different reality. We see the difference. And we see other people's reasons. That is really important because it's not good to see one side only. It's good to see both sides and then to choose, okay, I'm going to stay on this side or on the other side. Okay, we still don't know many things. There are still so many question marks left. but I like how Isayama made us believe one thing and then, okay, forget about it. I mean, not forget about it, but now I'm going to show you something else. Let's see. How do you feel? I really appreciate his choices and the story going on till now. I'm not disappointed at all. I mean, I'm so interested, and I can't wait that this story is going on and on and on and on because now I am getting curious. I want to know everything. So, people who felt disappointed about season four or um, the story starting, I hope you're not because. And let me say another thing. Many people I read in some groups without spoilers, but many people felt delusional. I mean, many people felt boring about these episodes. No. I mean, just because there are no actions or there are no battles involved. Okay, episode one, there was a battle, but anyway, but just because we have these episodes in which there are new info coming and these episodes make us understand the panorama, okay, in which we are in right now, that doesn't mean that it's becoming boring. No, totally the contrary, in my opinion. Because, okay, people wanted to see bottles, 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 but what's important is the story, the the evolution of the story, the plot twists, the evolution of the characters, the mentality of the characters, the reasons why the characters are like now. All these things are essential more than battles, more than actions, in my opinion. In a story like Shingeki no Kyojin, where plot twists, changements, uh, difference of characters, uh, settings, plot, everything is essential. In a story like this, you can't put your attention to battles only. That's a mistake. If you focus too much on the battles, you lost the point. I mean, you lost the essence of the story. Yeah, I know many people prefer battles, but I don't agree. I love what I see, and I love to be shocked all the times. Definitely. I love this. I can't wait to go and watch episode 4 next week because I want to see what's going to happen. And look, I'm not, as I said already in the comments, I don't check the previews anymore after the episode is finishing. I mean, when the ending is starting, I'm going to turn off everything because I don't want to know anything about what's coming later. I don't want to know. It's definitely better to check everything in that moment when you're going to watch it. Mappa was awesome. Come on, guys. Mappa in this episode created some beautiful scenes. The facial expression of Eren, the facial expression of Rainer, the facial expression of all the characters involved. Okay, the CGI, whatever, who cares? Come on. I mean, I already explained my opinion. I love CGI in these parts. I mean, in the Titans parts, if you watch it from the TV, from a big TV, and the TV is a 4K TV, it's amazing. Amazing. I can't find the problems at all. But right now, what Mappa did, hello, ciao, ciao, ciao a tutti. What Mappa did was to focus on the face. But look at Reiner's faces throughout these episodes, the previous one and this one. You feel what they feel, the characters, the emotions, the disillusion, the disappointment, the anger, the mixture emotions. It's so beautiful, well represented. We shouldn't miss these parts too. Mappa was good. here. Yes. Then the way they represented Eren, oh, oh yeah. I like, look, the eye of Eren said everything. Just look at the eye, okay? One eye only, but it's enough. And yeah, when they were saying, I think Zico said it, right? Zico in season 3, part 2, he said, no, you don't even seems like your father. I mean, you don't look at him. You don't look like him. No, I totally disagree with this. Eren is the same as Grisha. The eyes, the face. Okay, he just misses the glasses. That's it. Put the glasses on Eren. I think you find the Grisha. The length of his hair, the eyes, the anger he has right now. Yeah, he's the same. But yeah, anyway, guys, Mappa, ooh, good job. I like. And for all the people who thought that from episode 3 we would have seen something bad or something delusional or something disappointing, no. See, it's better if you watch it first, because if you follow rumors and stuff like that, you are tricked. It's better if you are not tricked. Watch first, and then you give your opinion, as I do. Actually, yes, 2 hours and 16 minutes. Okay, sorry. I hope I said everything till now, and hope you follow me, because if you follow me throughout the week, you understand that I have all these theories. So when I watch the next episode and I say, guys, I told you, it's because of that. It's because I already said it before. And look, usually I'm going to rewatch the episode on Friday, but next Friday is Christmas. So I will rewatch the episode on Thursday. That means the day before, the 24th. So if you wanted to join me to rewatch the episode all together and to see if I skipped something, if I missed something like last week, the theory of Falco Grice came out. So see, it can happen most of the times that I find some other details or I see some things that I couldn't watch before. So feel free to join me. Okay, now I'm going to read all of your comments. Sorry for the delay, but it's better if I tell everything and I tell all of my opinions, and then I am going to tell you. I'm going to read all of your things. Sorry. Okay, remember, if you wanted to, yes. Will you be watching the episode again in this live streaming? No, as I said, Edward, I will rewatch it on Thursday. Ciao, ciao a casa, ciao. Who's worst, Reiner's mom or Historia's mom? Nice question, Edward. Ha. Historia's mom, mamma mia. Something crazy, but I think both. For different reasons. Because one, I mean, Historia's mom didn't love her at all, even physically speaking, okay? Reiner's mom, she's touching him at least, but Historia's mom, she didn't even want to touch her, as if it was the past, okay? But both. I think they are both wrong, both so bad, and it's better if I don't choose, because even if they have different reasons, but they are both wrong, definitely. Hello, Andrew. Hello. I just arrived. Okay, thank you. Edward, the Historia's mom is the worst by the time. Okay. Andrew, I agree, but Reiner's mom is a very close second. Yeah. I totally dislike Karina. I can't find good words for her till now. No. Both women are so wrong. Yeah. Hola, Eduardo. Hello. Yeah, Galliard was bullying. Even when both of them are treated as yeah, exactly. But you're not superior than Rainer, because you're in the same position. You're not a Marley already. No, you're always an alien. So yeah, I agree. No, yeah, the ending scene, I said it now, few minutes ago. Well, the father didn't know the Reiner's mom was an alien. For what I see, that's not an excuse. Absolutely. Look, he was really bad. Okay. Yeah, Marcel was apologizing, only for his brother. Honestly, sounds great being super powerful, but for yeah, exactly. Yes. Thank you for telling me this, Andrew. Yes, because I didn't say one thing. Um, you're right. You wanted to become a superhero just for 13 years. It's like the pact of devils. Think about that. Okay, I give you the superpower for 13 years so you can become a hero, but then you have to die. It's like the pact with the devil, the same. But it's better if you don't accept this because if you wanted to be a hero, even with the small facts, you can become one. So the world is messed up, yes. I remember this is one Commander Pixies, yes, was talking about how the entire world was fighting each other all the time. Yeah, look, check the world we live in is the same. And he didn't know the truth exactly. Think about that. Like Erwin told the Pixies that the only time the fighting stops is when only one person is alive or anyone is dead. Something like that. Yeah, but that's true. I agree with this. You can see it even with these seasons, throughout all these seasons. So yes, it's amazing how ridiculously right he was. Oh yeah, exactly. Okay, no one in this show is evil simply for the sake of being evil. That's why I love this story. Exactly, because if we follow what Eren said, you're pushed. Yes, he was about to kill himself literally. Yeah, I think. Look, thank you, Ryder, that you didn't do it because you still have a chance to change the world in your own way without being pressed or pushed by others, and you still have a chance to be loved for real by people you believed they were evil. Think about that. Rainer, I'm talking to you. Okay. Mm, this was probably the last nail in the coffin of Reiner's sanity, but yeah, Rainer had lots of traumas, and now I can understand many things. Commander Megatha was feeling sorry for them. I don't know, and I don't remember if he is alien too. I don't think so. I don't think he is, but yeah, I felt like this. I felt Megatha was a little bit sorry for what they are doing. That's what I felt. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Bertold was always a little bit shy, and I don't know outcast all these kids are, but I think they refer to the power. Yeah, sure, but at the same time, Bertold didn't have the same treatment Rainer had. If we think about that. Mega's such an amazing character. Okay, one of those that sleep past most people, like Moblit, Marcel, and Flock. But when you pay attention to their development, they are one of the best. Okay, yeah, in fact, as we always said, secondary characters are good as the principal characters. There is no difference in levels or difference in, okay, this character is lower than the other one, etc., etc. All characters here are essential. Yeah, that's why Shingeki no Kyojin is an amazing story. It's so realistic in some points, portraying personalities and characters. Yes, I agree. I think Marcel felt guilty, and he's just letting to feel guilty. Yes, I think the same. He wanted to free his own mind and his own soul from all the things that he did until now. These chapters are one of my favorites in the manga. Emotive. Hello, thank you very much for the support. Okay, I didn't get it until sorry, I didn't get it this until now. They killed this man, or he killed himself because the poor man discovered the. I have a doubt. I mean, I when I saw that they took the story from that man of the village and they made their story. I thought, okay, Rainer, or but not Bertoldo, because Bertold later he said, I keep dreaming this thing, blah 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 blah. So I thought that Rainer could have killed him because if other people discovered that the story was the same, probably Reiner would have not be credible inside the walls. So I thought maybe Reiner killed it. Yes, I had the same thought actually. Yeah. I can't wait to know more about the Tiber. Ah, in the next episode, we see the Tibers. Okay, can't wait. Okay, this is a Warhammer Titan. Like Kenny said, yes, everybody has drunk of something. Yes, I agree. It has nose. Look exactly like Gracious now. Oh, really? Okay, look, I don't pay attention on noses, but I trust you. His eyes too. Yes, as I said right now at the end of my commentary, beautiful eyes. It's a disservice to watch a show like this just for the action. Un saluto, ciao Camelia, ciao ciao. I had to rewatch that because I wasn't sure it was him at first. Oh really? No, no. In my opinion, it was too evident. Come on, Luigi, ciao ciao. The way she looked at him was exactly what you're saying about face showing emotion. Oh, thank you. Okay, I felt. I really felt all the facial expressions in this show. Yeah. Her eyebrows, her eyes were distorted in her tears. It made me feel like she did. Uh huh. Okay. Okay, guys, look, it was quite long, this commentary. Sorry for that, but I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you liked it. If you want to check it out, you can watch the entire live streaming once it will finish, because I will keep it on the channel, of course. Your favorite episode so far? This one. No, I think all episodes are nice. All episodes are essential. So I prefer to wait, and then I will think about that later. Yeah. Okay, guys, I think for this live streaming, that is it. I hope you enjoyed it. See you on Thursday, not Friday, Thursday, for the rewatch before Christmas. Yeah, subscribe to the channel if you join me now. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the new subscribers joined, and see you next time. See you with my mother in 2 days. Yes. Okay. See you guys. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me today. Bye bye.